Hey, this is Adam Torres, and I'm here to tell you that it has never been easier to start your very own podcast. At Mission Matters, our goal is to amplify stories that matter. That means we want to help you start your podcast because your story matters. We can do this in 3 different ways. 1, join our podcast school and take a free or paid course. 2, visit our resources page where we've already figured out what you need, such as where to host your podcast. Or 3, heck, we can even do everything for you through our podcast agency, including editing for cheaper than you can do in-house. Oh, and no contracts, services month to month. Get started by heading over to missionmatters.com and click on Start a Podcast. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Fitness Podcast, your source for all things fitness. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Tami Peddigree on the line, and she's the owner over at Drum-Latè. Tami, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Adam, for having me. I am really excited to be here.
All right, and we're excited to have you, and let me tell you, I'm excited to talk more about what you're doing over at Drum-Latè and how you're helping your clients. But before we do that, let's go a little bit further into your background. So what kind of got you started on this path and on this career?
Well, I won't try to bore you with my entire life story, but, I always grew up as an overweight child, that pretty girl that everyone told, if you would just lose a couple pounds, you'd be so much prettier. And, that was basically how I grew up, and not really having any mentor or leader to really guide me in the right place of trying to live a healthier, more active life. I was always active as a child, of course. Mm-hmm. But somewhere along the lines, after I had my daughter, I kind of really lost sight of what life was really about. And I ended up putting on a significant amount of weight. And I was 35 and I was just unable to get out of bed. My joints were always hurting and my depression started to get really, really bad. And it was one day I was coming home from work and I just didn't feel right. And I ended up finding my way to the emergency room because I thought I had had a heart attack. And you think to yourself at 35 years old, this cannot be happening to you. It was such a eye-opener for me. Thankfully, I went to the hospital that day and I was diagnosed with having a severe anxiety attack, and which I'm thankful for that because, again, it opened up my eyes thinking, like, you know what, you really need to change your life right now for your family, for your daughter, because I was still young. And I followed up with my doctor, and when I went to my doctor the following week, and I had to step on the scale, which I haven't done in years because I put it off for so long. I was at 320 pounds. And it was devastating to me because I had never been that overweight before. And it wasn't even about the weight. It was, I knew I was unhealthy. So I started to, do some research, and thankful for my doctor. And I was pre-diabetic when I went to the doctor, and she said to me, Tami, you really need to change your life or you're not going to have one to change. She was the best doctor I ever had, and unfortunately she had to move on, but she gave me the tools that I needed for the first time in my life. I actually found someone who was like, okay, I'm going to send you here. I'm going to give you these things to read, and I want you to eat healthy. I want you to exercise. I want you to change your life for you. And for me to have that person, the first person in my life to ever show that much support to me, changed me to be a better person for me and for my family. And, so I started to eat very clean, and I followed a low-carb diet. And then I started working out at the gym, just, doing simple, basic exercises like getting on the bike. it's a very hard struggle feeling alone and having to go to that gym that day by yourself. I was so scared and uncertain that I was going to be made fun of when I went there. And, you know, I stuck to my plan, and, you know, I started to get a little bored, but, you know, my friend, I met some girls there, and they got me into some group fitness, and I didn't think that I was going to be able to do some of these, you know, high intensity classes at 300 pounds. But I went, and my first class I ever went to was a Zumba class, one of the best group fitness classes out there. And I wasn't perfect at it. I never got made fun of. And I may have not been able to do all the moves that all the other girls were doing in there, but I kept on moving, and I finished the class. And that moment that I finished that class, I had this overwhelming feeling of being successful and accomplished, and I wanted more. And it made me realize no matter at what age you're at or what your athletic ability, from not ever exercising to what your mind can do for you if you just put your mind to it and you do your best, that anything is achievable. And I walked out of that class, I was on top of the world, and that was when I knew that I wanted to take fitness and my health into just a bigger platform. I wanted to do more for me. I wanted to do more for my daughter, who was also struggling with her weight at the time. And I wanted to be able to be a role model for my community.
Wow, what an amazing story, and thank you for sharing it. I think your story is going to be very inspiring to many that listen to this podcast. It's inspiring to me. I think it's amazing. And now you've chosen to really become not just a guide and a help for many, but you're also, you know, a leader in the fitness space. And I think that's a great transition. So let's dive into your business. So Drum-Latè and your program. So tell us a little bit more about how you developed it and how people participate.
All right. Well, I'm 42 now. So what is that? 7 years ago, I've lost over 130 pounds. And it was all because of group fitness and of all of these wonderful instructors that I got to meet. And my gym had noticed, you know, that I was dedicated to the gym. They asked me to come in as a fitness trainer. And I was so excited and honored. And they wanted me to look into the cardio drumming aspect of the world, because at this time it was getting very big and it was very popular. I did a lot of research in it. You know, it just really wasn't for me, but I really loved the aspect of taking some sticks and smashing them together. It was really just,
that's awesome.
Really nice.
It was fun.
Stressful. It is super fun, but I wanted something more. I wanted more sweat. I wanted to move more. I wanted more intensity. And so I work with another brand where they actually have weighted exercising sticks, and I love Pilates and kickboxing, and I love dance aerobics. So, you know, I was like, what can I do with these sticks to make it better, high intensity, but low impact for our joints and our body? And that's when I just, you know, I was messing around. I was like, oh, I'm just going to call it Drum-Latè. And everyone was like, that is so cool. And, you know, and I rolled with it, and I started just, you know, working with a couple of people and creating my own music and creating some routines. And, you know, I started it in one of the facilities, my local gym, with 3 people. And today, 2 years later, I have over 100 people just in that gym that come and participate in that class. And it just continues to grow with online workouts and gyms picking it up to be able to offer such a great program.
Oh my gosh, that's absolutely amazing. I love this story, and I love like how many people you're benefiting. Let's just put it this way. It's not easy to get 100 people involved with anything, let alone a class. I mean, it's not like you're doing something right there. What would you consider, there's some other fitness professionals out there too that are listening, that listen to this podcast for tips because they want to build their fitness brands. What would you attribute part of your success to attracting that class and attracting that following? Because it's not easy to do what you're doing. It's amazing.
definitely challenging. But, you know, I think one thing that we need to remember is that not every fitness program is for everybody. And we need to make sure that we are looking at our clients to see what their needs are. And and especially what is going on right now is, you know, we need to keep people completely interested in fitness, and that is by always changing and keeping up with technology and keeping up with new music and finding a way to bring those people in. And I utilize a lot of social media pages. I utilize a lot of Zoom, to get more people into my classes and try to educate. And I'm just gonna, put this out there too. My class is so different than a lot of the new programs out on the market. It's mysterious, and people like that. And once someone comes in and they try it for the first time, they are immediately hooked. And it does not matter if you are someone who has never been in the gym before or if you're a 100-mile runner, because I have a very diverse clientele. And I just think being able to connect and to talk to your clients and ask them questions on what they want, that is going to help you connect more with your clients and listen to them and try to do what they're asking. And a lot of my success with Drum-Latè is because I've come so close to my clients that when they make suggestions or they help me, I take it and I roll with it, and I take it to the extreme. And that's what keeps on having my clients come back.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. So, Tami, I can talk to you about this all day long, but we're about out of time for this episode. If somebody's listening to this and they want more information on Drum-Latè or to follow you and to connect with you and your brand overall, what's the best ways for them to do that?
Well, I have been so blessed this year being able to travel with the Fit Expo Tour in California. So you can always go to thefittour.com and you will be able to purchase tickets to be able to do my live class for the virtual workout. But before that day happens, the best way to get a hold of me is going to www.brum-late.com. Just go to contact me. My email is on there. Feel free to, ask me any kind of questions. I do have Drum-Latè on my website as a subscription or a one-time base at a price very low, just to try to, get Drum-Latè out there a little bit more. It's fabulous. It works. We smash sticks together. We smash, sweat, sculpt. That's what we say.
Matt, what did you say it is? Smash, sweat, sculpt?
Yes, we smash.
Oh, that's
sweat,
so good.
sculpt.
I love it.
So it's truly based to give you that dance aspect of hit drills with some weighted sticks, and it is absolutely fun. Also, I'm on Facebook at Tami Peddigree and Instagram at Drum-Latè fitness_Tami Ann. I'm very easy to find, and I'm very quick to respond because I am so excited and honored that I am able to. I just really want to help people not be afraid to go try something different.
Absolutely amazing, Tami. And a pleasure having you on the show today. So thank you for coming on. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Fitness, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments in the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Tami, thanks again for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's been super fun.